Duluth, I'm Jessica Bianchi. I work in economic development for the city. Welcome to another edition of Conversations with Council. This episode, we will be talking about renovations and the newly constructed pedestrian bridge at Rogers Bridge Park, the city's real-time crime center, and updates on the railway quiet zone in downtown. Joining me to give an update of these exciting projects are council members Manfred, Graeder, and Shenée, Holloway. We are excited that the newly redesigned Rogers Bridge Park is open. Manfred, will you tell us more about this?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to be here and talk a little bit about Rogers Bridge Park. That's a big project going on for a couple of years now. Actually, it was split in two pieces, phase one and phase two. Phase one was replacing the bridge. The old original Rogers Bridge, built around 1900, was in a bad condition, was not open for access anymore. And we had the dream, vision, and made finally the decision to rebuild that bridge to connect Duluth on one side of the Chattahoochee with Johns Creek on the other side. That phase was completed last year, and the pedestrian bridge is open. So we have phase two, that included building new parking lots, pavilion, renovating the canoe launch, and that's close to completion. The park is open, as Jessica just said. We're just finishing up with paving the road from PID down to the park and paving the parking lot of the dog park. The dog park is open, parking lot is not at the moment. So there will be road or lane closures from time to time. Be careful driving there, but it should be complete shortly, and then the park is completely open. So we have two sides of the river now. We have the Duluth side with the canoe launch, the dog park, pavilion, new restaurants, nice sitting areas in the shade, and we have access to the other side of the river. On the Johns Creek side with the 203-acre Holloway Creek Park. There's a 5K trail, ball fields, overlooks on the river. It's a good opportunity to use that facility to stretch your legs, walk. And if you haven't been there yet, please go there. The view from the bridge is fabulous, especially if you go there in the morning. You see the fog coming up off the river. It's fabulous. It's really fabulous. We have now 120 parking spots on the Duluth side, close to the river.
Wow, that's great.
So that's pretty exciting. That's something we didn't have up to now. You might remember in the past, before the construction began, we had S'mores and Snores events.
Yeah.
At the park a couple times. Was a huge success, and it's dearly missed, and it will be back this year on September 21st.
Awesome.
So we also plan another event to open up the park, celebrate the completion of that project. So be on the lookout for the final date when it will be announced, and be there. It will be a great party.
Fantastic. I can't wait to enjoy this park more personally, and I gotta make sure to attend those cool events. So we know that our Duluth Police Department's highest priority is the safety of our citizens. Shenée, can you tell us more about the Real-Time Crime Center?
Yes, and if you haven't been, you have to go. It's beautiful. It's state of the art. I believe it had its humble beginnings in 2017. And so now in 2023-24, they have the state of the art hub, if you will, for cameras located strategically in our city. I think it started out with just a few cameras, and now we're up to about 400 cameras strategically placed around the city, all for our safety though. So for our visitors, our people who come into the city, and for residents who live in the city. Our police department is all about safety and all about security for our residents and our visitors. So great center if you haven't visited. It serves as a vital resource for city events. And so that allows the police department to see, I believe they have 3 full-time staff members or staff members that come in and staff. So it allows the cameras to operate almost 24 hours.
Little different note, construction on the realignment of Davenport is finished and the final touches are taking place. So what is happening with this quiet zone designation for the railway? Manfred, do you want to tell us about that?
Yep. So you have seen the construction on Devonport, you have seen construction on the Brock Road railroad crossing, you have seen work on the Main Street railroad crossing, and everybody is wondering probably what's going on there. What are these new signs that are backed up at the moment? There are signs stacked close to each other, and it looks exciting, but what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's a preparation for the quiet or silent zone. We're working on that with the railroad for a couple of years now. They require certain safety measures to allow for a silent zone, which means that the train doesn't have to blow their horn when reaching a railroad crossing. So you need to have gates that close the complete road crossing, including the pedestrian path. You see on Devonport Road these new gates, rails, that are angled around a couple of directions, and everybody's wondering, hey, that's a huge installment, and that's certainly expensive. But that forces pedestrians basically turning 90 degrees to look into the direction of oncoming traffic to see if there's a train coming, since the train's not blowing the horn. So all these constructions need to be approved by the railroad administration. After finishing all the work, the paperwork is going to the railroad administration. They will look at it, check it, approve it, and then they have to update the manuals for the train staff that they know that's now a silent crossing, and that takes time. So we hope that's done within the next couple of months.
So we all know that Duluth downtown is a place to be on any given day. Manfred, can you also remind our citizens what kind of events are coming up?
Oh yeah, certainly. I have to take my list, because there are too many of these events. So certainly we have our regular Fridays in Duluth, former Food Truck Fridays that's still going on for a couple of months. We will have the Duluth Farmers Market 2 times a month on the second and fourth Sunday afternoon. And then we have the big events in July, Viva Las Duluth.
Woohoo!
Probably everybody remembers from the past years. We went to be. That's fabulous. That's end of July. In August we have Art Month in Duluth. That will include the Chalk Art Festival. We had it the first time last year, and if you haven't seen all these great pictures on the ground, be there, check it out before the rain comes. Because that was the downside last year. They were gone after a day, but they were really, really impressive. In September we have the Duluth Fall Festival, including the Fall Festival concert on September 14th. The Fall Festival is as usual on the last weekend. In October we have Howl on the Green. In December, Deck the Hall and Cookies and Cocoa with Santa.
Aww.
And then starting in November we have a couple of smaller events going on for around about 2 months. Frosty Fun Series. Also last year, so there will be some smaller events popping up. Please check our website for all these events.
Well, lastly, with all that happening, we know questions come up about projects, events, and all kinds of other things in Duluth. Shenée, can you tell everyone how they can get in touch with us and get their questions answered?
Of course. So you can always reach out to your council members. Our information is on the Duluth website, that's duluthga.net. You can also email pio@duluthga.net for any other questions or information that you need about the city. We will also be at tents located at Fridays in Duluth, starting on July 26th, August 31st at the Tune Fest, October 12th during Duluth on Tap, and December 7th during Deck the Hall for community chat with council. So feel free to walk up to the tents and say hello, ask your questions. We'll be right there to answer whatever you have. And if we don't have the answer, we'll get the answer.
Yes, and your question might just be featured on the next Conversations with Council.
Might be on the Conversations with Council, and we'll have swag. We'll have swag for you.
Oh, very fun, the best. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been another episode of Conversations with Council.